Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be exploring how to engage with a 3D workstation within Photoshop. You'll have to bear with me for two reasons today. I am full of cold and I will be sniffling throughout the whole tutorial. I apologise. And two, I am new to a 3D workstation myself, and from what I gather, others who use the 3D workstation within Photoshop are quite open and honest about the fact that there's no right or wrong way of producing your designs. It's more about experimentation. So until a point, I will be following step-by-step instructions, and then after a point, it will be pretty much experimentation and exploring how this tutorial or how my artwork is going to finish and go. Thank you. Let's get started. Okay, so the statement I've gone for with this is everything is a choice. It is a bit of a Pinterest statement, but it's effective in communicating a message. Okay, so what we're going to start off with is I'm going to turn off the image layer. Then I'm going to right click the text layer, and then convert to shape. Now, you duplicate the text layer again and rename stroke, turn off caps lock. And then, if we select the stroke layer, make sure that is, we'll go onto the direct selection tool. I'm going to change this to 3. We're going to change this to none actually, and then do it on the outline. So I'm envisioning a blue just there. So as you can see, we've created a blue outline. Okay, and now we're going to move on to creating the 3D layers. One by one. 3D. I'm currently using a Wacom Intuos Pro tablet. Yeah. So it won't let us do it as a group of layers, just one by one. From selected path. Okay. And this one too. 3D. New 3D extrusion from selected path. Okay, so we've got our 3D and our properties panels open one by one next to one another. We're going to merge our two 3D layers. Then these are our two workstations. And this is one of the parts of the tutorial where it kind of gets a little bit experimental instead of prescribing you what to do. Direct extrusion depth. Just moves it up and then down. One thing to note is my MacBook is struggling to run this, and a lot of laptops or even desktops won't actually provide 3D as an option if the graphics and RAM cards aren't all too strong. And when you are in a 3D workstation, it could make your laptop run awfully slow. Oh, no. Interesting. Double click to take that back. Now let's explore what the taper does. Oh, interesting. There we go, and we will keep it there. Okay, so I am going to stick to the contour and see how that goes. Here, and we've got our stroke section. Extrusion depth. And there you go. Okay, now I don't like how much there is of the back. So I'm going to change the extrusion depth if I can. Okay, no. There we go. Now we are going to edit the texture within the typographic details. So if we go to stroke, front inflation material, diffuse, the little icon on here which looks a bit like a paper with a corner folded, edit texture, okay, and it's going to open up a new Photoshop file for us. And this is going to provide us with the opportunity to modify the texture within the typography. Okay, so we're going to fill with our chosen colour. Direct select tool. So we are going to go back to our fill option. And it's already saved it for us. Smack bang, beautiful. Okay, so we'll create our mini arrows, zoom in, a bit too far. We'll create a triangle. There we go, better. Okay, so we have our arrows. Do this so you can kind of see. And then we're going to duplicate. Duplicate layer. We're going to keep on doing this until we have our design. Okay, so we're going to merge our stripe all together. There we go. File, save as, reflection. Make sure it's all going into the same folder because that's easier to give on top of our workload that way. Now we're going to change the colour again to create an alternative file. What colour to go for? That is a question. We'll go for that one. No, we won't. We will go for that one. I can tell I'm literally just exploring for software for what it can provide. The outcome might be something I'm proud of, or it might be a learning curve. We will see. Okay. Then we'll go to the stripes layer. water overlay. We're going to save this file as bump. Okay. Now we're going to go back to our original document. I'm going to click off this again. Select front inflation tab, reflection, load texture, open our reflection file. As you can see, it's loaded it into the document. And then go to our stroke file, front inflation tab, reflection, load texture, load our bump file. Okay, so what we're going to do now, remember save. We've got our specular, and I am going to change the qualities down here to 75, 55, 9. And then I'm going to change my shine to 25, reflection 70, and bump I'm going to keep as it is. And I'm going to go down to my stroke and do the same again. Okay. So move it around. We have, oh, that's quite interesting. Hello. A little bit western. Move it around. So I just stopped recording for a second so I could explore the different colour choices and see what the options are. I wasn't too happy with the colour choices I had made. So our 3D mode up here helps us to move the artwork along. So in this case it's typography. I'll give you an example of each. Try and straighten this out. Slightly more. There you go. We have this one. Moves it around like that. This one, which is a bit funky. A bit like a roundabout. And this one moves it around. Okay, so we get our 3D panel up. Oh, and also, if you remember what I said earlier on in this tutorial, at some point it is going to be step by step. And then there will hit a midpoint where it becomes a lot more experimental. Because I will hold my hands up and say, I'm pretty new to this. Okay, so let's get our 3D window back up. There we have it. Okay, so we explore our light scene. And you can see the light changes depending on where we put our sphere. And that really helps show our beveled front. Explore our shadows. Okay, now, so this is probably actually where I'm going to finish this tutorial because a lot of what I'm about to do is going to be experimental and it could take a 15-minute tutorial through to 2 hours until I get something that I'm okay with. So before we go, we've got a 3D panel which correlates to the properties panel and that helps break down every component in our 3D item within the artwork. My advice would be explore, experiment, see what you like, see what you don't. If you're unsure about something, Google is always my best friend. Ask away. They seem to have the answer to everything. Okay, and before we finish, I will close down to here's one I did earlier. And this is the finished artwork, which I will end on. Thank you, and remember, stay kind.